Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the shoot in my first of two videos for tonight. I was at a high school football game for a few hours and I've been watching Tigers Mariners. But I want to do my Smackdown review now because that game's in like the 14th inning. It's crazy. Let's review Smackdown that happened today, October 10th edition, the go-home show before Crown Jewel. Tomorrow, I don't know when I'm going to recap it. I'm not going to lie. I'll recap it at some point during the day. But this was the final episode before their Crown Jewel PLE, so it was WWE's last chance to sell fans on subscribing to ESPN, if they hadn't already. This show was pre-taped, but aired at its usual time in the US. Here's a look at the card. You know, you had the Wyatt Six and Street Profits for tag titles, Damien Priest out for Black and Last Man Standing match. Sami Zayn's US title Open Challenge continues, and Julie and Kiana James versus Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vicaire. So let's get right into the show. I'll get my overall thoughts on the show, then I'll go over the card here. I mean, it was solid. I mean, nothing really nothing too, like, overall great. But, you know, it was a good showing from the Blue Brand. It managed to hype up the PLE appropriately. Now, they had some fun in-ring action. The women's tag match was solid. The tag title match had some fun moments, despite being too short. But it was the first and last bouts that shine brightest. Sami Zayn faced a returning shit-stained Nakamura in a U.S. title open challenge. They ended in controversy thanks to the MFTs, but still provided us another great encounter between longtime rivals Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura. Kind of had a feeling he was going to return at some point. So that was a good match, really good match. The main event, Last Man Standing match, was just as good as you would expect, given the competitors involved in Damien Priest and Aleister Black, bringing out the best in each other. Crown Jewel being a morning show for American fans is going to be an interesting experience, but the card has potential to produce a great show tonight. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a solid show. No, the Last Man Standing match was fantastic. Sami Zayn and Nakamura was pretty good. The women's tag match I thought was solid. The tag team titles between the Wyatts and the Street Profits had some fun moments despite being too short. But let's get into it. Let's get to the card. Scroll back up here. So Cody Rhodes opened the show. The show opened with a video package hyping up Crown Jewel. Before Cody came out wearing his Crown Jewel ring from last year. Obviously, he won his Crown Jewel match last year. He spoke about his feud with Seth Rollins leading to the PLE, played to the crowd, included the announcers. The fans seemed to be having fun, and so did Cody, but this promo didn't really accomplish anything. It was kind of just filler content in every sense. It's a little sad that we could have gotten a 5th match instead of this. I mean, we really didn't need this. It was kind of pointless. But the video package felt different from what WWE normally does. Having no dialogue or lyrics to the music was a big factor. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. He returned tonight answering Sami Zayn's open challenge. It was answered by none other than the returning Nakamura, who hasn't had a match since June. The crowd was excited to see Nakamura and sing a song. His match got going, oh, whoa, whoa. These two have a history dating back to his debut in NXT. Since then, they've clashed in over 70 singles and tag matches, both on TV and at live events. So, you know, these two know each other about as well as anyone can. They did what they do best and put on an entertaining back and forth match. The only bad thing about this match was the fact we didn't get to see all of it due to commercials. They fought through 2 commercial breaks. They had plenty of time to make this a great performance, as Nakamura was gearing up for the Kinshasa. He was put out of the ring and attacked by a man in a hoodie. It was revealed to be Tama Tonga. The rest of Solo's bloodline showed up and attacked Zayn, but Sako was not there until the assault was over. But this was a very good match despite the MFT shit there at the end. Nakamura was back to his original theme song and look. Drew McIntyre demolished Jacob Von in a backstage segment. But those were some notable notes there. But yeah, it was a very good match. The only thing that ruined it was the DQ, but obviously you don't want to have you can't have Sami Zayn losing. You don't want to have a returning Shinsuke Nakamura lose. So it makes sense. Next up, Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Valkyrie versus Julia and Kiana James. You know, I thought this was fun, solid. The two top champions managed to work together without any issues to get the win over Julia and Kiana James, in case you need to know who won. The second half of this match really picked up the pace and turned to a fun encounter. It had a couple rough spots, but nothing too bad. I just thought it was solid. But, Fatu found McIntyre backstage, and they had another brawl after Aldis told Drew that he and Fatu would have a match next week. So, next week on Smackdown, that's a match that was made. Kiana James, if she ditched the props like her handbag and glasses, she would be easier to take seriously. She's a good wrestler who's been hampered by her gimmick, but she can wrestle. The White Six versus the Street Profits for the Tag Team Championships. If most of this bout didn't happen during a break, it might have been much better. The Whites retained their titles in a somewhat short but high-energy tag team match as the champions post the MFT showed up for a standoff as the lights were still flashing. You know, there was some fun moments here. It's weird that the champions haven't had a match in over a month after their last one was against the same team. It feels like they genuinely don't know what to do with the Whites. Sometimes, which is sad because the group is talented. And also, Nikki Cross, the last time she wrestled was in September of last year. She's been healthy the whole time and has worked some live events. I don't know why they don't have her wrestle. I don't know. Another thing, Charlotte and Alexa agreed to defend the women's tag titles against Zari and Sol Ruka in a backstage segment. Yeah, this was some fun, some high energy spots, despite it being kind of short. Next, Damian Priest versus Aleister Black in a last man standing match to end the show. This ended up closing it, I believe, to end this feud. Yeah, this was great. Zelina Vega, Aleister Black's wife, showed up and pleaded with Priest not to continue his onslaught. But Black encouraged her to leave. He threw a fireball at Priest before hitting Black, mashing him, crashing from a platform to the floor. The way this ended was a little strange, but 99% of what we got here was great. And having Vega and Black as an on-screen duo could be a good move for both of them, time will tell. But this was pretty good. The way Priest hit the steel steps when he hit Black into that sunset flip looked nasty. He's so good at selling when he wants, Aleister Black, dude. And that meteor he hit to put Priest on the steel steps looked awesome. So many good spots here. This was a great match. But yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 show. Thought it was a solid go-home show. You know, wasn't anything spectacular, but I thought it was solid. So, yeah, that's all to say. Leave a like, subscribe for more, and check some back a lot. Peace.